activate a POTA park, which is a POTA park that I live in, and I build antennas and test antennas from that POTA park. I have to drive about 5 minutes from here. And I work into the States quite a bit on the HF bands, so quite enjoy it. I also run digital modes here on the bands. At the moment, the bands are in poor shape due to the solar flares that we've had over the last couple of days. So back to you, John, and you'll be rolling over into our day, which is Wednesday. I think I worked it out 10 hours. If I calculate, I think 14 hours behind or something like that. Yeah, we are 14 hours behind. I do it the other way, John. I add 10 hours. And it's quicker for me to add than do takeaway calculations. So I add 10 hours and then call it yesterday for you guys. Back to you.
Oh, good calculating there. Yeah, now it's 12:01, so we are into Wednesday. Here we go. Another day. Well, hey, I got a quick question. How close are you to Queensland? Are you nearby Queensland?
No, I'm at the opposite end of the country, north-south wise. So if you're familiar or semi-familiar with the map of Australia and the small island state of Tasmania, which is down the bottom right-hand corner, I'm directly opposite Tasmania, almost anyway, across that small stretch of water between the mainland and Tasmania, the island state. So if you were to drive to Queensland from here, John, it would be a 3-day drive. Back to you.
Yeah, copy that. That's a long journey there. Yeah, the reason I was asking, one of the first times I ever talked to anybody from Australia, I was 14 years old. This was back in 1984. I was talking DX on the 11 meter band. I got a long history on 11 meter band stuff with my dad, my grandpa, everybody. We used to do it a lot. But I talked to a guy in Queensland, Australia when I was 14, and we exchanged QSO cards and sent a pretty cool package. A lot of goodies from Queensland, and he was a chainsaw repairman, and his pictures of these chainsaws he worked on were, oh my God, these things were probably 6 feet long, which would be, what, 2 meters to you guys, right around there. Just great big chainsaws that they were using, and thought it was pretty cool, man. It was, I made that contact on 100 watts with a 3-element Yagi that I built myself, ended up about 30 foot above my garage, and man, I still got that QSO card to this day, and I'm 55 years old now, and I still have that card.
Yeah, very good, John. Yeah, I remember back in those days, or even prior to 1984, when swapping QSL cards with CBs was a bit of a tradition. I don't know where all mine are gone, but I know I had I had a lot of them. The band conditions used to be very good, and I remember driving to work with 11 meter radio in my car and talking to the States while I was mobile, but a bit hard to achieve that now. The conditions are nowhere near or haven't been as good. But yeah, that's interesting. I did a similar thing. There was a guy that was on this the ECR a few days ago, John, and he was a new ham, and he was pretty excited to speak to Australia. So I dusted off my box full of blank QSL cards, and I put one in the mail for him. I didn't tell him I was doing that, so he might be a little excited to get that. Back to you.
Really cool. That's really cool of you to do that. Yeah, I'm sure he's going to get a kick out of that. You know, usually around here, you check the mail and it's nothing but bad news and bills and advertisements and stuff. And to get a QSL card from a contact he made on the radio there, he's definitely going to get a kick out of it. That's very cool of you.
Yep, it's just something to do, and just a little token. I'm out of my shack, John. I've got a full HF set up here and bits and pieces, and I have an all-star node in the house that I use my 2 metre 70 centimetre radio in the shack here to connect to. I'm getting a bit of packet loss, so at the moment I'm talking to you on the PC, which is associated with all my ham software, and I'm using Echolink, so hopefully it's coming through okay. Not much happening here. We got a little rain overnight, which is a little bit disappointing. I would like a lot more. We use tank water here. We don't have a town water supply, so I rely on rain to supply our water, and the population here is probably, I'm guessing, around 100 to 150 people here. So very small coastal community. I moved here from Melbourne, or my wife and I moved here from Melbourne 20 something years ago, and I've been retired for about 12 years or so. So I enjoy retirement because I get to play and do lots of stuff that I'm interested in, including ham radio, John. KF8BWB from VK3AWA. Go ahead.
Very good on retirement. I'm jealous. I'm 55 years old and I'm still wrenching. I'm a mechanic by trade. Work at a transmission shop and work on cars hard. I'm a hard worker, and right now I'm on my bass. I'm on a bass radio here. I got a little anytone actually. I got set up for a bass and a Edfong antenna up on the roof, and I'm hitting a repeater out of northwest Ohio, right on the western shores of Lake Erie. If you're familiar with the Great Lakes, I'm on the very western tip of Lake Erie right now. That's where we live at. And, very cool that you retired there. I like that. I'm glad you're able to enjoy it. That's the goal in everybody's life, man. Just work, make everything work good, get to retire and enjoy life.
Yeah, that's it, John. And yep, I know roughly where you are. I've been to the States a few times, both with when I was working for a living. I'm also an aviator, John, and a few of us local aviators from this area used to travel to Oshkosh, Wisconsin for the annual air venture run by the Experimental Aircraft Association. So we used to go over there, and sometimes we'd incorporate somewhere else to visit while we were attending the air show, or before or after the air show. One year we went to Washington DC, spent some time there. Another year we went to Hawaii on the way home. And also with my work, I spent some time on Long Island doing some training, but that was quite a while ago. So, but I have a pretty good understanding of the layout of America. I'm not great at it, but you know, if someone tells me where they are, I've got a fairly rough idea. Depending on where they are, sometimes I'm sort of pretty good at it, and sometimes I have to get the map out. John, back to you.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. It seems like a lot of people from other countries know our country better than we do sometimes. Sometimes people start talking about like New York or Long Island and stuff, and these guys know exactly where everything's at. And being from Toledo, I've never been to New York, but you know, it's just one of the things that Some people just pay attention to it more than the other. But being an aviator is cool. Yeah, you gotta know what's going on there. Well, hey, Daryl, I gotta cut off here because I gotta get to bed. I gotta get to work tomorrow. But definitely good talking to you. Great contact. I'm very happy about this one. You have a good day tomorrow. Which, well, actually today is after 2 o'clock. So you have a good rest of your day there. Enjoy your day and good talking to you. Maybe we'll catch you back on here again sometime. KFA DWB Toledo, Ohio. We're gonna be on the side.
Thanks, John. Thanks for the chat. And I'm impressed by the fact that you can still be awake at midnight. I'm 72 now, and there's no way I'd be able to hit midnight. I used to, but not these days. If the sun goes down, that's me done. All right, I'll see you later. Nice to catch you, John, and once again, congratulations on getting the call time. See you later. Catch you next time. See ya.
VK3 AWA KK7OGC Fred in Reno. How you doing, Daryl? I just wondered whether you got enough rain to fill up your cistern.
Hi, Fred. Nowhere near it. We only got 2 millimeters, which is, I don't know, what's that in imperial? But there's more predicted, Fred, so fingers crossed. From, I think, Friday through to Monday or Tuesday is going to, the predicted rain every day. We're in a rain shadow. We're right on the coast, as you've probably heard me say before, and the rain comes over the hills, which are probably 150 kilometres away from here. But it misses us. It stays inland, and we don't get it. And this year's been particularly bad, Fred. Been very, very dry. So fingers crossed this weekend might help us get some more water in the tank. Back to you.
Yeah, Daryl. Yeah, you sent me pictures of your cistern. It's a 5,000 gallon. Yeah, it's big. And I don't know, hopefully it'll fill up during the winter for you.
Yeah, pretty hopeful that it will, Fred. And of course we rely everything except for drinking. We actually buy bottled water to drink, as I'm a bit wary about all the contaminants from the animals around here. Even though there's a screen on the top and we have a filter, it's always a bit questionable. So my wife likes to buy bottled water, which I use for my coffee. Tell me, did you solve the conundrum of operating All-Star Portable, Fred? Back to you.
I'm still contemplating that for Node Ventures, purchasing one of those. I'm curious about what their Wi-Fi broadcast range is, because I'm going to keep my phone on me, which is what it's going to connect to, and I'm going to keep the radio connected to me. I haven't had any input for what the Wi-Fi connection, hotspot connection to my phone would be.
You're talking about distance-wise, if you separate the two units, Fred, back to you.
Yeah, Daryl, AK70GC. Yeah, if I leave the node in the car connected to the battery, and then I go have a walkabout, so I don't have to carry the node or a separate battery pack around with me, what is the Wi-Fi range for the clear node for Wi-Fi?
I have operated way, but on DMR, and I never really tested, but I would think the range would be something like 100. So I can remember having the phone and the hotspot in the car, and going into premises, and having the car about 100 yards away, and it would work okay. So I think that would probably be about the limitation. I've been listening with interest, Fred, because I want to do the same thing as you are, and I was going to build another node to do it and use my phone in exactly the same way you're doing, but I decided after talking to somebody and hearing somebody using a TalkPod, which is an Android based radio in inverted commas with a push to talk and an antenna and all that sort of caper, so it looks like a handy talkie or a handheld. I've decided I'll go down that path and see what it's like, because you can either run it connected via Wi-Fi or connected via the mobile phone network by putting a data-only SIM card in it. So I've ordered one, and I'll see what transpires. Fred, back to you.
Well, thanks, Daryl. Yep, I have DV Switch on my phone, and I also have Echolink on my phone. So I'm just trying to figure out what the value is. Driving down the road, I'll probably be listening to tunes instead of tuning into ham radio, but whenever I get to a campsite, and go shopping nearby for ice or beer or whatever, I'd like to leave the node in my car and then have my phone on me and then the radio on me and see how that works. I don't know. $3.25 US is having a hard time swallowing that one.
Yeah, in fact, what you're doing with your phone, Fred, is exactly the same as this TalkPod, except it looks like a ham radio, and has some other features, but it will run DV Switch and Echolink, and I'm not sure what else yet until I buy it and play with it. But I just thought, well, 'cause I was going to build another node, so I would have had to spend money on that. And I build my own nodes somewhat cheaper than what you buy them commercially as a finished product. So I build my own and load the Handvoid software and get it all working that way. Then when I spoke to this guy the other day, and I sent him an email, whenever I hear something new, Fred, that I haven't heard before, I always go and look it up, and I've never heard of a talk pod as related to ham radio. So it always costs me money, Fred. Back to you.
Sorry, I had to wait for my node to ID itself. Anyway, Node-Ventures, they have an app on your phone that you can control the node from. And that is a wonderful addition. ClearNode on the Android store, I looked it up, and you don't have to network into the node itself. It seems wonderfully convenient. KK70GC, back to you, Daryl.
I'll check it out, Fred. I'm always interested in what other people are doing and how they're doing it. The issue for us in Australia is the cost of buying stuff. Not only the initial outlay, but if I buy any hardware from the States, the cheapest postage to get something here now, doesn't matter what it is, via the US Postal Service, is $70 US, and that's over $100 in our money just for postage. So I've been a very big fan of purchasing stuff from America for my various hobbies that I've got, and I've always had very, very dealings with companies over there. Some of them very, very small one-man operations and so on. But the postage has just become prohibitive. So Australians are not inclined to spend money in America anymore because of the postage cost. So unfortunately, we have to look elsewhere, and you know what that means, Fred. Back to you.
No, I totally understand that, Daryl. Anyway, Node-Ventures.com. They have pretty little boxes, but again, I'm back to the Wi-Fi thing. The talk box. Tell me more.
Called Talk Pod, TALKPOD, Talk Pod. They sell various models of different radios, but the one that seems to be designed for ham radio use is called, the model is November 58 Plus. I've watched a few YouTube videos on it. I understand how it works, and as I said, it either works. You would operate it similar to the way you're operating your Android phone, which is what it is, Fred. It's Android based. So you're buying an Android box and screen, but it's all incorporated. You've got to push the talk button and an antenna on it. You can run it either through Wi-Fi, so connect through the local Wi-Fi system, or as I suggested that I think I'll do. And that's in Australia we can buy a data-only SIM card, so that you're not, for an iPad or anything that hasn't got telephone capability, you can buy a data-only card. And I looked the other day, and I can get one for $15 a month, which is sort of acceptable. So therefore, wherever I went with this thing in my pocket, I could operate DV Switch or Echolink or any of the other digital applications. There's others, and it's still a bit of a head scratch for me, Fred. But I guess I'll do more of that when it turns up in the mail. Back to you.
Yeah, Daryl. Yeah. Thank you. Talkpod.com, maybe. I also I don't use my garbage disposer in my house, but it went south, and I like stuff to work. And radio, garbage disposal. I'm near retirement, so both are on my list. Thank you.
Yeah, I hear you, Fred. Yeah, so I guess I'll know in a short period of time. It's in the mail somewhere, and I'll see how it goes. But interesting. I was just playing around with the drone, and I can run the drone on Wi-Fi connection to my phone, and the documentation says 150 meters maximum range. So I'm guessing you're going to be in similar circumstances with your node and the phone and the radio being separated. So I reckon 100 to 150 yards would be about it for you, depending on line of sight and what's in the way and what have you. But I have successfully, one of my other hobbies is aviation. I have left the hotspot and in the car and been in my hangar, which is not a great distance away, but it's a big metal hangar, and I've been able to communicate without any problems. So I guess it's going to be a C sort of thing. The other thing you can do, I don't know whether you've got a node there now, but you could set it up for Wi-Fi operation and test it. What I was going to do initially, but anyway, I've gone down a different path. Good to talk to you again, Fred. I won't tie up the system any longer, and take it easy and be interested to see what path you end up going down. And my bet is the garbage disposal is going to win, Fred. See you later.
Yes, but I don't use it. Anyway, yes, I run it. Try to run it once a week, but that. I have a Sherry pie that I got from Kids for Hams. It's in a metal cage, perforated metal cage, and therefore it kind of obviates or eliminates long-range Wi-Fi connections. So that's why I'm looking at the clear node.
Yeah, I've got one of those as well, and that's what I was going to use for mobile operations. And with my setup, it would only be, when I'm in the car, so there wouldn't be any great distance between the Shari Pi and the phone and the radio. But anyway, I'll see how this other thing goes. I like the fact that I'm just going to have one piece of hardware to contend with, and I'll see how it works. I'll pull a SIM card out of my iPad and put it in the talk pod when it arrives and give it a. And if it works successfully, I'll spend $15 a month on putting its own SIM card in it. Anyway, it's something else to play with. Of course, I can always set it up and use the phone as a hotspot, but I'd rather just have one piece of equipment rather than several. All right, leave you with it, Fred. Must be getting late over there, and good to catch up with you again. And I watch with interest your progression. 7-3, and KK7OJCVK3AWA. See you later, Fred.
K70GC, thank you for your input. Have a good day, sir.
Good morning, Fred and Arena.